Some new and concerning reports suggest China and Russia are targeting U.S. spies through hacked computer databases. The Los Angeles Times reporting that foreign spies have hacked into government websites, emails, social media accounts, all to collect personal information on millions of Americans. The data files are then being analyzed to try and identify and, for that matter, track U.S. undercover operatives and agents overseas. Joining us now, Chief Operating Officer of Ghost Systems, Gregory Keeley. He's also the author of Cybersecurity in Our Digital Lives. Espionage is the second oldest profession in the world as it exists. I think what's so interesting here is it used to be if you wanted information on a foreign government, you had to have a spy go in, take a couple of documents out of the file cabinet. Now you can hack in and steal the whole file room.
Absolutely. And this is, I think, Leland, something that people don't quite understand, is that it's very easy for a malicious actor, be it a state actor like a China or Russia, or a hacktivist, anonymous type actor, to come in and do that. And it's, passwords and firewalls are important, but unfortunately they're not it doesn't work like that anymore.
Broad picture in terms of, obviously, cyber attacks are going on both sides. We're trying to attack and get information from the Chinese and the Russians and everybody else. They're trying to attack us. Two issues. Number one, it seems difficult to prevent something like this, but what can the U.S. do to deter China and Russia or these kinds of things? And at some point, do we have to say, look, if you hack this database, tomorrow we're going to turn the lights out in Beijing?
I think that's a very good way to put it. I mean, I think we need to take a page back out of the Cold War doctrine, as draconian as that sounds, and we need to almost guarantee mutually assured destruction. It's to quote Sean Connery, if you bring you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. And right now we're the guys holding the knives, and I think you don't want to be in that position when you're facing an adversary that is China, that is Russia. And we've had a very anemic response to every cyber attack, from OPM through to the IRS, through to United Airlines. We don't respond, and while you don't respond, your adversary has the battlefield and they call the shots, and if they're calling the shots on the cyber battlefield, you lose.
One thing that we've seen, to go back to your Cold War analysis, we've seen Russia really ramp up their aggression all across the world in terms of things in Ukraine, but also in terms of flying nuclear bombers close to our coast, those kinds of things. Is Vladimir Putin seeing this response so far to these cyber attacks and telling his cyber hackers, hey, go do more, let's see how much we can get?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, back in May, and this has been very underreported, the Russians and the Chinese signed effectively what is a cyber non-aggression pact between the two countries. What that did was effectively create an open season on the US, because right now Russia and China can join the cyber battle and not have to worry about a second front. They don't have to worry about their flank anymore. And so all their cyber guns, to use that analogy, are just pointed at the US and they're just bombing away.
What are they interested in getting? I mean, they've gotten all of this security clearance information from the Office of Personnel Management. They're now trying to cross-reference that with travel records and everything else they've gotten. But what is the holy grail, or do you just simply put a fishing line in the ocean and hope you get something big?
That's a good question. I think there's two parts to that. From a Russian perspective, they want to embarrass the United States.
Okay.
And that is a big part of their foreign policy. It's just how they do business. The other part is they need to, the Chinese and the Russians, to a lesser extent Iran and North Korea and the other belligerents, want to identify who our intelligence operatives are overseas. They want to be able to get down, drill down, find out their fidelity.
And the information they've gotten so far, is that enough to do that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my information's been compromised in the OPM hack. If you cross-reference everything from OPM, your security clearance information, your medical information, even down to the Ashley Madison and IRS stuff, that's a lot of, and then your travel records, that's a lot of information, and you cross-pollinate that. You know who's coming out of Afghanistan when they're meant to be in Paris, and that's pretty easy to find out.
Well, valuable information, Gregory Keeley. We hope that your travels, at least in that area, are safe. And we'll call up Russia and see what they know about you.
I'm sure they've got a bigger file on me than Hillary Clinton does, but you can probably look at that too.
Oh, well, we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of weeks. It'll be interesting. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Leland.